The September tropics remain very active. Good Sunday evening. I'm Mike Naso with an update on the tropics. Taking a look out there, we have a couple of features we're going to touch on. Of course, the ghost of Helene here over areas of the Ohio and Tennessee valleys. The rainfall is decreasing, but it's still spinning, is still miserable, and there is a lot of destruction and death from this hurricane. It's been very, very tragic for areas there in Appalachia and the southeast. We are watching this tropical wave area in the Caribbean because there's some indications we could have another system coming towards the Gulf. The good news is today the models kind of backed off intensity a bit, so maybe we wouldn't be dealing with a major hurricane or anything, but still, we don't need any issues to exacerbate the problems that they've had from Helene. We have a new tropical depression out here growing in the central Atlantic. This is forecast to become a major hurricane, a Category 3, but it looks like it'll probably remain out at sea, although we can't say for sure. Areas like Bermuda or even further to the west would always have to watch it until we know for sure where it's going. Another wave forecast to potentially develop behind it. And of course, we still have Joyce out here, and Hurricane Isaac is downgraded to a tropical storm moving out into the Atlantic. Helene, oh God, it's just horrible. The damage and the death. The hurricane caused problems from Florida all the way into Appalachia. Many, many deaths, widespread devastation. We continue to hear bad news and wait for whatever recovery we could have down there, but it is not good at all. There's the radar, and again, the heaviest rain right now, as of Sunday night, is in areas there of Ohio and Pennsylvania, West Virginia, into areas of Maryland. Not excessively heavy. The skeleton low pressure is down here, and that's part of the low pressure from what was left of the trough that kind of sucked Helene up after she made landfall. She came up like that, and then kind of did one of these, and now the low pressure center is kind of stationary almost, and that's why it's such a dreary, cloudy day. But the damage has been done from areas of southern Ohio through southern Indiana, Kentucky, Tennessee, Alabama. This whole region here took a real hit from this monster storm. The North Carolina Department of Transportation said all roads in western North Carolina should be considered closed, even the big ones, and it's like nothing they ever saw down there. And then we do have, look at this, out of Chimney Rock, North Carolina. This is a small town way in areas there of western North Carolina. Look at this damage. Look at that. The town is gone. The town is completely gone. There's nothing left. There's nothing left to start from. They're going to have to start from scratch. Just devastation, and unfortunately, I think the death toll is going to go up. And this is all from inland flooding, remember. This is inland flooding. So we're going to continue to watch the recovery of Helene as time goes by, as we watch this new system at 13.8 north, 32.5 west. Winds are 35 miles per hour. As it becomes a tropical storm, if and when, it will be named Kirk. I know a lot of people are like, what the heck, Captain Kirk? What is that? That was the replacement name after Hurricane Keith devastated Belize, the Yucatan, and Mexico in the year 2000. I tracked Hurricane Keith back in 2000. So this should become Tropical Storm Kirk, then Hurricane Kirk, then Major Hurricane Kirk. The great news with future Kirk is that it should remain out at sea, like I said, well to the east of Bermuda and the islands. Nevertheless, you're going to have high swells. This could become a pretty large and powerful hurricane, and it's moving west at 9 right now. There's the satellite. There are the Cape Verde Islands there. The system's still in its formative stages, but a large envelope of moisture that tells me this is going to be a big hurricane as it moves towards the west. Isaac was a hurricane. It was a Category 2. It's now down to a tropical storm. It's at 43.8 north, 34.7 west, winds down to 70, and it's moving northeast at 12. It should eventually become extratropical, move out here, and just create high swells. The same with Joyce. Joyce is still a tropical storm, barely hanging on, 40 miles per hour at 22.2 north, 49.2 west, drifting northwest at 6. Joyce does not have long to go. It should dissipate by Wednesday morning. Taking a look at the satellite imagery, we can see our two systems here. This is Tropical Storm Joyce, that naked swirl. Very unfavorable conditions. National Hurricane Center nailed that forecast, knowing that Joyce wasn't going to last. And then we have Isaac up here weakening. So Isaac and Joyce, and then to the south of them is our, here we go, I'll scroll down. There is our developing tropical system. This is likely to become Kirk. So I, J, and K. We're getting through the name list pretty quick after an August that was extremely slow, abnormally slow. Boy, did it come back with a vengeance in September. After these systems, we could have more. This area of the Caribbean, well, you don't want to see this after Helene. The Gulf has been hit by 4 hurricanes in this hurricane season alone. Beryl in Texas in July, Debbie in Florida in August, Francine hit Louisiana as a Category 2 in September, now Helene as a Category 4 in Florida in September. Could this be our next system? It's possible. Our other system here, a wave should leave Africa. That could develop too, and this one could also become a hurricane. It's unknown how far west it'll get. If you're in the islands, keep an eye, because one of these could always slip under the radar. Now, the Caribbean, we don't have anything there yet, but we do have a pulse of some kind. So as this progresses, we're going to watch it. Remember, this area is the region where we got Hurricane Idalia last year and where we got Hurricane Helene this year. And right now, just disturbed weather in the Northwest Caribbean. But after what happened in the Florida Big Bend, we don't want to take anything for granted here. We're going to watch it very, very carefully. And then off Africa, this area here where this wave is leaving, this could be our next region of concern. And then there's our, wow, this depression. I'm going to tell you, this looks close to a tropical storm. Don't be surprised if by the time you see this update later Sunday night, this is Tropical Storm Kirk. Look at that outflow in all directions. This is going to become a major hurricane. The great thing about it, like I said, is that it's likely to stay out at sea. Here are some of the ensemble models. These are the GFS ensembles, and they take our systems out to sea. They keep them mostly to the east of Bermuda, which is great news. But look at the Gulf here. It does show a system coming out of the Caribbean and potentially heading right towards the Florida Big Bend. So that is bad news for you guys who are recovering, trying to recover, not even beginning to recover from Hurricane Helene. The European ensembles ain't much better. In fact, look it out here. They make these strong hurricanes, Category 4 hurricanes. When you see this pink, you're up to Category 3 and 4 wind speeds and low pressures. The great thing, like I said, is that they seem to be moving out to sea. This one could be a little bit more of a low runner through time. This area in the Caribbean we're watching because, again, some of the models want to take more moisture at the very least towards Florida. We'll continue to watch the tropics and the recovery of Helene as time goes by. I'm Mike Naso, and I'll talk to you guys next time.